Thanks, Chair. Minister, disability justice is social justice, and social justice is disability justice. And the Green Paper that was scrapped earlier this week was straight out of the handbook of the authorities. And if you looked at what the disability payment scandal done to people in Britain, it just shows you that pushing people to the margins already compounds a particularly terrible issue. And disabled people are proportionally suffer from poverty, alienation, deprivation in terms of employment, in terms of living. And people with disabled people will suffer disproportionately, in particularly employment, discrimination. And me and you may not suffer that, but somebody being disabled will suffer that. And it's obviously, it's very insidious how this discrimination happens. And this is a wide a broad spectrum, Minister, in relation to justice for people with disabilities. And I touch on one particular issue around children. We have this pretty farcical situation around assessment of needs. Now, assessment of needs as a concept is a good concept, but the concept is when you get that assessment of needs, you get the services for your child. Now, that's not happening. And then you have even more of a bizarre circumstances where the Disability Act 2005 is constantly breached by your government in terms of children trying to get these services. And you know, when a parent comes into our office in terms of this issue, my heart absolutely sinks, because I know the road that they're going to go down, because the road is almost a dead end in terms of services for their child. Because if you get the early intervention for children in terms of speech and language, any of them services which are vital, if a child does not get them at that particular time, the consequences are pretty bad. And why a child cannot get them kind of services is horrendous. There's a number of other issues, Minister, in terms of the optional protocol, the UNCRPD. Why that hasn't been implemented doesn't really make sense. I'd like to kind of hear your views in relation to that. Also about personal assistance, and I have first-hand knowledge of personal assistance. I was a personal assistant for a long time, and particularly people that want to have independently live in their own home. You can't put a price on that service. You just can't. It's really, really important that personal assistance in terms of pay and conditions are kind of increased, because this is a very, very vital job in terms of assisted living and trying to give people a kind of an independence, while at the same time, you know, there's a communication and a social kind of a value, a huge social value to personal assistance. And I think it's very undervalued in our society in relation to this, particularly around disabilities. So I think, Minister, I think this is a very, very important issue around personal assistance, and hopefully with this kind of motion and other motions going forward, that social justice can be done for those that are living with disabilities in Ireland. Thank you.